Hello friends, today I want to share a story called Stone Soup, retold and illustrated by John J. Muth. This story has been retold all over the world in different forms, and it really is a great example of how starting a garden for a community creates food for everyone to share and live abundant, healthy lives. Let's find out about this story. 3 monks, Hawk, Lock, and Siv, traveled along a mountain road. They talked about cat whiskers, the color of the sun, and giving. What makes one happy, Siv asked Hawk, the youngest monk. Old Siv, who was the wisest, said, "Let's find out." So they're just chatting away as they're walking along. The sound of a bell brought their gaze to the rooftops of a village below. They could not see from so high above that the village had been through many hard times. Famine, floods, and war had made the villagers weary and untrusting of strangers. They had even become suspicious of their neighbors. We've been going through hard times in our country too with the pandemic. The villagers worked hard, but only for themselves. There was a farmer, a tea merchant, a scholar, a seamstress, a doctor, a carpenter, and many others, but they had little to do with one another. They all kept to themselves. When the monks reached the foot of the mountain, the villagers disappeared into their houses. No one came to the gates to greet them. And when the people saw them enter the village, they closed their windows tight. They did not want them to know that they were there. They were not welcoming. The monks knocked on the door of the first house. There was no answer. Then the house went dark. They knocked on a second door, and the same thing happened. It happened again and again from one house to the next. These people do not know happiness, they all agreed. But today, said Siv, his face bright as the moon, we will show them how to make stone soup. They gathered twigs and branches and made a fire. They placed a small tin pot on top and filled it with water from the village well. A brave little girl who had been watching came to them. "What are you doing?" she asked. "We are gathering twigs," said Lock. "We are making a fire," said Hawk. "We are making stone soup, and we need 3 round, smooth stones," said Siv. The little girl helped the monks look around the courtyard until she found just the right ones. Then they put them in the water to cook. "These stones will make excellent soup," said Siv. "But this is a very small pot, and it won't make much, I'm afraid." "My mother has a bigger pot," said the girl. So the little girl ran home. As she started to take a pot, her mother asked what she was doing. "The 3 strangers are making soup from stone," she said. "They need our bigger pot." Said the girl's mother. "Stones are easy to come by. I'd like to learn how to do that." The monks poked the coals. As smoke drifted up, all the neighbors peered out from their windows. The fire and the large pot in the middle of the village was a true curiosity. One by one, the people of the village came out to see just what this stone soup was. Curiouser and curiouser. Of course, old-style stone soup should be well seasoned with salt and pepper, said Hawk. That is true, said Lock, as he stirred the giant pot filled with water and stones. But we have none. I have salt and pepper, said the scholar, his eyes big with curiosity. He disappeared and came back with salt and pepper and even a few other spices. That will make good broth. Siv took a taste. The last time we had soup stones of this size and color. Carrots made the broth very sweet. Carrots, said a woman from the back. I may have a few carrots, but just a few. And off she ran. She returned with as many carrots as she could carry them and dropped them in the pot. Do you think it would be better with onions, said Hawk. Oh, yes, maybe an onion would taste good, said a farmer, and he hurried off. He returned in a moment with 5 big carrots and dropped them in the bubbling soup. Now that's a fine soup, he said. The villagers all nodded their heads as the smell was very agreeable. What a wonderful aroma. But if only we had some mushrooms, said Siv, rubbing his chin. Several villagers licked their lips. A few dashed away and returned with fresh mushrooms, noodles, pea pods, and cabbages. Something magical began to happen among the villagers. As each person opened their heart to give, the next person gave even more. And as this happened, the soup grew richer and smelled more delicious. I imagine the emperor would suggest we add dumplings, said one villager. And bean curd, said another. What about cloud ear and mung beans and yams? Cried the others. And taro root and winter melon and baby corn, cried other villagers. Garlic, ginger root, soy sauce, lily buds. I have some, people cried out, and off they ran, returning with all they could carry. The monks stirred and the pot bubbled. How good it smelled, how good it would taste. How giving the villagers had become. Look at them carrying all those precious ingredients, gifts of Mother Earth. At last the soup was ready. The villagers gathered together. They brought rice and steamed buns. They brought lychee nuts and sweet cakes. They brought tea to drink, and they lit lanterns. Everyone sat down to eat. They had not been together for a feast like this for as long as anyone could remember. It's a great celebration of the gifts of Mother Earth and a gift of the community sharing. After the banquet, they had told stories, sang songs, and celebrated long into the night. Then they unlocked their doors and took the monks into their homes and gave them very comfortable places to sleep. In the gentle spring morning, everyone gathered together near the willows to say farewell. Thank you for having us as your guests, said the monks. You have been most generous. Thank you, said the villagers. Watch with the gifts you have given, we will always have plenty. You have shown us that sharing makes us all richer. And to think, said the monks, to be happy is as simple as making stone soup. And I think wiser words were never shared. And they talk about how in ancient China, these characters, Hak, Lak, and Siv, were prominent in their Chinese folklore. And these were like 3 gods that bestow health, wealth, and prosperity. Hak symbolizes good fortune and prosperity. Lak symbolizes good health, family happiness, and mutual love. And Siv symbolizes longevity, and he brings good health and long life, free from stress and obstacles. In this story, they have taken the form of the 3 Zen monks. But all throughout history, people have been having vegetable gardens, fruit and vegetable gardens, and it is a great way to create health and abundance in a community. We are so fortunate here at to have our storybook garden that everyone can come and enjoy the fruits and vegetables of our garden. We can work together, we share seeds, we share produce, We help each other, and that builds strong community. In ancient times, they said food is medicine. And when we grow these beautiful fruits and vegetables in a rainbow of colors, that helps our bodies to be healthy so that we can live long, healthy lives and share that good health with our neighbors. And when we have a garden like this and we plant flowers, we're helping all the animals that live in our garden habitat to live happy, healthy lives too. And whenever we grow things in our community, we are helping to create fresh air that travels all over the world to purify the air and to regulate the weather, to help with that water cycle so that our planet can heal and be a healthy place for all life. So enjoy planning your spring garden and come and be a part of growing our storybook garden here in our community and growing good neighbors and their health and happiness. Together we're better, and sharing makes all the difference.